clothed in the righteousness of Christ. What does all that mean? Well, it simply means we are clothed by God in all that Christ has done for us. God views us by what Christ has done for us. By Christ's perfect obedience, by his covenantal love, all the obedience of Jesus Christ in his life and in his death have now been given over to our account. In other words, when Christ obeyed God in his life and in his death, and he finished the work he was given to do, he obeyed God. God took all the rewards that Christ had earned in obeying the law of God in his perfect life and in his substitutional death, and then accredit it or give it over to sinners he had chosen to save as their reward, as if they obeyed the law of God. And therefore, God views the sinner as if they obeyed the law. God views the sinner as if they give that perfect obedience. And so, that's amazing. All that Christ performed in his obedience, God now views the believer as if they give that obedience. Why? Because all that Christ did, he did it on our behalf. He did it in our place. We could never do it, but he did it for us. Again, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 21. For he, that is God, hath made him, that is Christ, who knew no sin, to be sin for us, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him. And again, that word, sin for us, it means in our place, on our behalf. In other words, God, and I want you to get this, God took all that we deserved and imputed it or give it over to Christ and charged him with it. And God took all that Christ deserved and imputed it over to us. Isaiah 61 verse 10, I will greatly rejoice in the Lord. My soul shall be joyful in my God, for he hath clothed me with the garments of salvation. He hath covered me or atoned me with the robe of righteousness, as the bridegroom decketh himself with ornaments, and the bride adorneth herself with jewels. And so all who have been clothed in the garments of salvation, Jesus Christ is their glorious dress. He is their righteousness. All his merits, all his obedience, all that he did to please the Father has now been given over to us as if we did all that. And we are clothed in the garments of salvation. We are clothed in Christ's work. So when God views us, he sees Christ and Christ alone.